Hi there, Denny here. Listen, if you've got a Disney Cruise Line vacation coming up, let's you and I get ready for it together. This is what you need to know before you step onto that ship. Let's go. This video is sponsored by Give a Little Whistle Travel. A Disney cruise. There's just nothing, in my book, nothing like it. It is the best of all possible Disney fandoms. There's relaxing moments. There are joyful, energetic moments. There are adventures to be had. Listen, I've had the great fortune of taking 16 Disney cruises so far, and I'm getting ready to go on my 17th. And 18th, as it turns out, because we get to do a back-to-back. I'm going to be taking you with me on that as well. If you don't know what a back-to-back is, it means that one cruise butts up against the next cruise. Like you get off the ship, but you're not leaving because you're getting back on. Can't wait for that. That'll be another vlog for the very near future. But first things first, you and I need to get ready for our Disney Cruise Line vacation. First thing, and I'm going to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of this video. Give a Little Whistle Travel is a team of Disney trained vacation planners. And this is no small thing. They offer, if you book straight with them, like first things first, you're booking your Disney Cruise Line vacation with them, you're going to walk on with onboard credit. You're also going to walk on if you booked it another way and move your transfer your reservation over to them. It's just not as much. So please, please, please don't miss the opportunity to walk onto that ship, whichever Disney ship it is, with a little change in your pocket, because that is the literal best feeling. So head to Give a Little Whistle. They can do a consult with you, a 30-minute legit phone call consultation about your vacation. They can also give you a free quote, and there's no obligation for all of it. They understand that your vacation dollars are precious, and they want to help you spend it the way that you want to. So check them out. Give a Little Whistle Travel. Huge shout out. Thank you so much for sponsoring. Let's get down to business, or let's continue with the business. So you've booked your DCL vacation. It's so much fun prepping for this thing, but it's kind of like any other vacation. You just can't wait until it gets here. But that waiting period means that you've got plenty of time to plan, which you're going to need. Listen, if you are a first-time cruiser, this whole thing's going to blow your mind. I'm just going to let you know that right off the bat. Our kids loved that. Being on the ship, our in-laws, my in-laws loved being on the ship. And listen, my hubby and I do as well. And I cannot wait to step back on to one of the ships. I'll be sailing on the Disney Dream with my hubby very soon. And it occurs to me that there might be a few things that I could help you cover, and you can help me, because it's a whole lot of exciting stuff going on here, getting ready. The next thing you want to do is download the DCL Navigator app. Back in the day, years and years ago, you would get a personal navigator. It was paper. I have a copy here. Your personal navigator would be left on your bed every night. And most of the time they were like, they've opened to an 11 by 17 size that they then folded in half. But it would literally tell you what was happening at what time. This is from, let's see how old this is. Sunday, November 5th, 2017. It was a good day on board, I'm sure. But you could go through with your little highlighter and mark what your kiddos want to do. Well, guess what? This is all digital now, saving the rainforest and a little bit of your sanity, I'm sure, because you're going to need that Navigator app on your phone to be able to access all of this goodness here. It tells you everything from a ship's directory to shopping opportunities, to character appearances, and literally every other thing right here. Same thing is going to happen on your Navigator app, but you want to download it at home. Do that first. Put in your reservation number. It'll connect to everything. It'll give you a fun little countdown calendar thing. And you'll be able to do things like once you've made your complete final payment, you can book things like port adventures. You can book dining reservations if you want to go to the adult exclusive dining locations. You can book massages, spa treatments, all of that right inside that app. So definitely download that. Once you get to Port Canaveral or Port Everglades, absolutely go ahead and try to connect to the ship's Wi-Fi. That way you can go ahead and get that established. You can start an onboard chat if you need to chat with a crew member, and you can continue. You can look at what you've already reserved and then try to make additional reservations as well. So please, by all means, do that. The next thing that you and I are going to work on really depends on the stateroom and the traveling party. So there are different categories of stateroom. If you've already booked your stateroom, you know. And in fact, on the 2 upcoming cruises, my hubby and I are staying in 2 different staterooms. We're in a deluxe family ocean view suite and then a deluxe ocean view suite. So the family is where we're starting out, and believe you me, I'll have stateroom reviews of both because I want to be able to share that with you. This is our hard-earned vacation dollars at work here, and we got to make sure that we're planning the cruise adventure we want to plan. So the family, the deluxe family ocean view stateroom actually sleeps 3 to 5. It'll have a berth that comes down from the ceiling. That bed, as always, will fold down as well. Couch. It goes from a couch to a bed. It's a fold down situation. It's really cool. And then, of course, the deluxe ocean view stateroom is just a hair smaller, and it sleeps max of 4. But depending on what your traveling party makeup is like, you know, I've done a lot of traveling with 3 generations. So our kids, my hubby and I, and then my in-laws, depending on the makeup and of the people you're traveling with, that's going to kind of dictate what you want to bring for your stateroom. I really enjoy having some magnetic clips that I can put up because the doors are magnetic on a ship. So I'll put it there and I'll kind of clip something on or hang a bag. Whatever you and your traveling party needs, definitely check that out. Take some clothespins with you because there's that big curtain in between the bedroom and the living room in your stateroom, and you might want to just clamp that closed so the sun rays don't come through. Regardless, all of this information is out on the web, in message boards, and in Facebook groups. Definitely jump in and pick the brain of those who have been there and done that. You want to absolutely, depending on where you're going on a cruise, if you're cruising to Alaska, you're going to take different clothing than you are if you're going to the Caribbean. So absolutely 100% look into that, and don't fall into the situation that so many people coming down here to Walt Disney World do. They think, Florida, it's warm all the time. You might be surprised to find out that it actually can be quite cool in the winter, given the day. So definitely look ahead for the weather. I know it can be tough when you're talking cruise, but pick a location. Like if you're going on a Caribbean cruise, pull up the Bahamas. Just see what the weather forecast is projecting to be while you're there. And always take a sweatshirt with you for those cooler nights, just in case. Another thing to have a heads up about is that you'll be receiving some mail from Disney Cruise Line. Another fun historical fact here about DCL. Back in the day, I mean, we are turning the clock way back. You would get a spiral bound book in the mail. And this is it right here. Like everyone would get one of these. How crazy is it? Talk about just trees and trees going to those. But it was all a lot of fun when this packet would arrive in your mailbox. It gave you your vacation checklist. Let's see. First things first, review this booklet. Yes, we will definitely do that, DCL. But it also says to complete your cruise documents and forms. And so much of that was actually in paper form. Now what will come in your mailbox is a packet of information that includes, and it's very small, it's nowhere like this. It's a folder. I've got one here. It's a folder that looks just like this. Your vacation details and luggage tags, because literally all the details are available online. And remember, I mentioned earlier in the video, Give a Little Whistle Travel. They've got all of the know before you go information right on their site. So definitely check it out. But it gives you your little itinerary. This was for a sailing on the Wish that I did back in September of 2022. This is the last time I was actually on a DCL ship with my in-laws and my hubby, and I'm so excited to be back on the ship. But this is what you'll get. But also, just inside, you will receive luggage tags. Now, these luggage tags are super important. That being said, they aren't the end-all be-all. I see so much stressing online about these DCL luggage tags. And while they are very cool and they work just like an airline luggage tag, you remove this portion and then you slip it through your suitcase handle and stick it together, and then it magically ends up in your stateroom. Even though they're cool, they're not the end-all be-all. Like if anything changes on your reservation, you don't have to have one of those tags on your suitcase. When you show up at the port, the porters can put some empty tags on it. They'll have empty tags. You'll just need to know your stateroom number. And so this happened to my hubby and I last time. We didn't have whatever we needed. We didn't have the tag that we needed. And so we ended up just telling the porter when we pulled up to the curb, because we drove to the port. We ended up asking him, just letting him know, hey, we don't have those tags. He said, no problem. What's your stateroom number? Scribbled it on the tags, put them on our suitcases, and the suitcases were there in the stateroom when they were supposed to be. So don't even stress about it. Now, I mentioned online check-in earlier, and this is the next big thing that you and I need to do. I mean, all the fun stuff, yes, that's a lot of fun. And people would argue that doing online check-in through DCL is a whole lot of fun too. And yes, I am one of those people. However, it also is something pretty serious, and it can take you a few minutes. So make sure you've got a little block of 20 minutes or so to figure out what you need to do, and have your travel documents. For me, I just like having my passport. I know there are different regulations, government regulations all the time, where, just have a state-issued original birth certificate if you're going here, have a passport if you're going here. For me, it's easiest just to have my passport. But you, again, can check out all of those fine print details at givealittlewhistle.com. But once you're completely paid up, just about a month before your cruise, you'll have the opportunity to go ahead and complete your online check-in. This is a fairly important thing. It's a very important thing to do. I mean, my goodness, but also there's a different layer to it. Yes, you want to go through. They're going to ask you to confirm your name, your address. They're going to ask you about how you're getting to the ship. Are you flying in and taking Disney transfers, Disney buses out to the port? Remember, that's an extra charge. Or are you taking a different way to get there? Are you driving your own car? Are you taking a rideshare service? All of these things you'll want to go ahead and put into your online check-in. They also want to know an emergency contact. You want to put that in. They'll need a picture of everyone's cruise documentation. So I uploaded a picture of my passport, and they also want a picture of you. They want from shoulders up to your head, just a good picture. They don't want you holding anything, no sunglasses on your face. It's not glamour shots, nothing like that. They just want a clear, direct picture of you and anyone else who's sailing in your party. They'll use that picture every time you try to come onto the ship from a port stop or leave the ship at a port. They like to confirm not only is the information correct, that face is the same face who wants to leave the ship right now or wants to come back onto the ship. That will go through a review process. That picture has to be confirmed to meet all the needs that DCL has for that picture. And once they determine that it meets the requirements, they'll go ahead and give you the thumbs up and complete, they'll send you a little notification that your online check-in is complete. Also, a part of your online check-in is the the spending on board, because listen, you and I are going to spend something on board, aren't we? Maybe. Whether it's a smoothie in the theater or something shiny in a jewelry shop, it all has to go somewhere. And it's a cashless system on board the Disney Cruise Line ships. So you've got to have a credit card on file. And you've got to go ahead and specifically enable charging privileges to everyone in your party. Now, if you're traveling with kiddos, this is where you make that decision. Do I let Bobby Sue spend a little something in the arcade without me being there or not? And listen, if you make one decision on your online check-in and decide differently between now and then, it's going to be okay. In fact, during your cruise, you can actually go to the guest service desk and ask them to change those permissions. So if Bobby Sue's making it rain in that arcade, you can go ahead and nip that stuff in the bud. Listen, we don't need to get off the ship with a huge arcade bill. Needless to say, that is part of your online check-in. Last thing you need to worry about on your online check-in is choosing your port arrival time. This is where paying your final payment, getting your whole cruise paid off, and getting to that online check-in as soon as you can is really important. For me, I like to be at the port as early as possible. Yes, I know. There are so many people who'll be like, why? You want to sit there? Like, there might not even be a seat. There's so many people and there's not, food and all that. It's the way I'm wired. I want to be there as soon as I can be. They open the doors. No, not that bad, but I do want to be there nice and early. It's a part of the fun of the vacation. I really want to savor everything on embarkation day as much as I can. And your port arrival time means that's when you can get to the port, go through the security process, get up in the terminal, and then possibly go ahead and get your boarding group number as early, as small a number as possible. They try to shake and bake through those numbers quickly, but I still want to be on that ship as soon as I can. Speaking of security, when you get to the terminal, and I'll do a separate embarkation day video and kind of step you through the whole process of what happens when. All the security requirements, the things you can and can't bring off in the ship, definitely, you know what I'm going to say, givealittlewhistle.com. They've got it all listed there under the Disney Cruise Line tab. So definitely check all of that information out. But you want to be able to have with you in your carry-on bag, because it's just like we're going to the airport. We've got a big suitcase and then we've got a carry-on bag. You're going to want, depending on who's a part of your traveling party and what they like to do, you might want to have a few things with you. Things like swimsuits. Because your suitcase will not arrive until later that afternoon, highly likely in your stateroom. You're going to want the things that that you're going to want to need to kickstart your cruise. Like if you have medication, that stays with you, just like it does on an airplane. A change of clothes, a swimsuit, whatever you require, whatever you want, go ahead and put it in your carry-on. And then take that through security. Part of the fun of planning a Disney Cruise Line vacation is knowing what you receive at the port. You are going to receive a lanyard. It depends on how many cruises you've gone on as to which color you get. This is my gold lanyard when I was gold, and it also has a little pouch here because you will also receive a key card. Now, this key card is super important. It'll have all the information, including your name, the date of sailing. It'll have your muster station letter on it, and it'll also have your information about if this isn't your first cruise. It'll say what level of Castaway Club you're in, and it'll show you what your dining rotation is. You can put this lanyard around your neck. You can pop this little baby in the plastic container holder and wear it around if you'd like to, or you can bring a lanyard of your own. Now, while you're standing there in the terminal, and again, a spoiler alert for embarkation day, you can actually see what the rotation is for your dining schedule by looking at this little code right down here. So for this, I was on the Disney Fantasy. And so it'll show you Animator's Palette. And then we went here, there, and everywhere. So please take a look at that. So Enchanted Garden, downstairs, all of that fun is right there. And you can kind of determine what your dining rotation is going to be before you even get on board. That's always so much fun. Another thing for you to have a heads up on, if you want to decorate your stateroom door, this is part of the planning and prep. Like everybody, you've seen those pictures. People go bananas over doing their stateroom doors. Way back in the day, we could use tape. Now, if you affix anything to your stateroom door with tape, the crew members are required to take those things down. So this is really important to know. Whatever you want to put on that door, it's got to have magnets on the back. I've bought magnet tape in the past and affixed them to letters. Here's a letter B with a little magnet. How cute is, with a little Mickey on it. How cute is that? So yes, you've got to have everything with a magnet on the back. Here's a little magnet that we were actually gifted on one of our cruises in 2022 aboard the Dream. Someone had printed these out and then had them laminated and cut around them, taped a couple of magnets, because these magnets fall off, taped them to the back and left it on our door. What a sweet thing is that? Whatever you'd like for your DCL stateroom door, just remember you gotta have magnets on the back. And I actually have a link to some magnets in my Amazon storefront. You can find my storefront link in the description box below. There is so much fun ahead of you as you have booked your DCL vacation. Listen, I do this every time we get to go on one of the ships. I get prepped. I look at things online. It's exciting. It's hard to wait, but then it's exciting to wait. And I need to get packing here pretty soon. So if you're in the same boat as me, we're going to travel together. This is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to do on Disney Cruise Line. Like I said, I'm going to take you along with me for embarkation day. I will actually document the whole back-to-back day. So what that's like in the morning, what you do if you're going to be back-to-back, if you've got two cruises up against each other. I'm also going to show you stateroom reviews for both of our rooms and other little fun things aboard. So bon voyage, friends. We're going on it together and I can't wait. Thank you so much for watching today. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe to the channel, and please check out Give a Little Whistle Travel. They are not only the sponsors in the travel arena for this channel. I've booked one of these two cruises through them. So I am a paying customer right along with you. Deb and her amazing team would love to be able to help you out. Huge shout out to the whole 9 yards Patreon team. Listen, if you want to be a part of making magic here on this channel by supporting financially, please consider doing so. It's $5 a month, and you can find all the details at patreon.com/Denny_Sunderly. I'm ready to go. I need a little sailor hat or something. I can't wait. Have a great one, everyone. Bye.